Hi guys, welcome back to my Safe Space Kitchen. So today I'm going to be making onion powder. Yes, onion powder is very easy to make, believe it or not. And I'm going to be making it with my dehydrator and my oven. In the meantime, if this is your first time coming across my page, this is my Safe Space Kitchen and I make cooking videos. Please subscribe to my channel and you will not regret it. If you want to learn how to make onion powder, stay tuned. So I went ahead and I peeled the first layer of my onion, and then I cut the bottom of it, and then I cleaned it really well. Make sure you clean your onions really well, okay? So from there, I have this little onion slicer thing that I got. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this. You don't necessarily have to use an onion slicer. All you need is your cutting board and your knife. And if you don't have a cutting board and a knife, then I suggest you don't slice your onions. But if you do, then that's all you need. You don't necessarily need this gadget, okay? I just happen to have it, so of course I'm gonna use it. So this is how my onion came out, thinly sliced. Like, so make sure you're chopping your onions or you're thinly slicing them. That is the best way to dehydrate any kind of vegetable. So after slicing my onions, I'm gonna go ahead and line it up on my dehydrator. So this particular dehydrator happens to have a lot of room in it, so I'm able to add more onions onto the layers. Some dehydrators are very the trays are very thin, and so you're not able to pack it up. But for this particular dehydrator, I'm able to pack it up really well, which is a good thing. I got this particular dehydrator from Aldi. This is actually my mom's, but it's mine now. Yeah, if you get any kind of dehydrator, sometimes it's not it's not as steep as this is, and I can't find any more. I wish there were more, but there isn't. So this is just by the way. I just wanted to get this information out there. But I line up my dehydrator like so. I pack it up really well, you guys, okay, as you can see in the video. And I just keep throwing my onions on there until it's full, and then once it's done, I go ahead and of course I cover it. So I'm gonna keep doing this and then I'll be back. So once I filled up my dehydrator with the onions, I'm gonna go ahead and cover it up and then set it to the highest temp, okay? So this particular dehydration process took 12 hours. Yes, it took 12 hours because I had a lot of onions on there and it took a longer time to completely dehydrate. And once it's completely dehydrated, I let it cool down completely. Make sure your onions are completely cooled before you grind it, because if it's not cool and you grind it right out the dehydrator, your onion is gonna be cakey. I mean, when you do grind it, it's gonna be fine, but then eventually it's gonna cake up quickly. You don't want that because of that heat, right? So just let it cool completely. And I went ahead and I grinded my onions. Look at that, y'all. Look at that. Look at that. Like, this grinder is insane. I cannot stress that enough. But again, like I keep saying, you don't really need this grinder. Your blender can do the same thing, okay? I just happen to have this, so they should pay me. They really should. With the amount of exposure that I'm giving them, I think they should. But anyway, so this is my dehydrated onions, okay? It's done now. So I went ahead and I dehydrated these onions in my oven, okay? So this took 9 hours to dehydrate. Same process. I thinly sliced my onions. I threw it on my lined my tray with the parchment paper, and then I threw it in my oven. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend this in my blender, because I want to show you guys the other option of if you don't have a dehydrator and if you don't have a grinder, you still have the option to use your blender to get you some onion powder. So I went ahead and I blended it, and this is what it looks like, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on a plate and show you guys I guess the difference from the two. Okay, so yeah, so the first thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to feel for texture, right? So the onion on my left, that's the one that I dehydrated in my dehydrator, feels a lot smoother. The color is a little bit more brighter. It looks more like an onion powder that we see in a store, whereas, you know, the onion on my right, not so much, right? And so feeling for this one, it feels a little coarse, and I'm thinking it's probably because I didn't blend it all the way, and so that's why. But yeah, and it's a lot more darker in color compared to, you know, store-bought. I went ahead and I tasted both onions, and both of them tasted completely fine. They both taste the same, and there's literally no difference. You would think that the brown one would be a little bitter, or, you know, whatever, but it was not. It tasted completely fine. And so yeah, this is it, you guys. Don't let that color, you know, deter you from making your own onion powder at home. Trust me, if you do make your own powder, it is way better than the store-bought, okay? Because remember, there's no preservatives in here, and you know what you're putting in your mouth, okay? So yeah, this is it, you guys. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate your time today. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and I will be back with more interesting and fun videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.